Krater is a modern take of classic top-down RPGs. It's a mix of games like Diablo, Baldur's Gate, and Fallout, and a little bit of Syndicate. Krater takes place in this gigantic crater. It's an impact crater from a war that will happen in a couple of thousand years in time. Inside this crater is the place on the planet, the only place on the planet where you can find really high-tech and stuff. So everybody, all the people that are still alive are sort of coming to this place. So it's like a new Klondike sort of thing. And they're selling the loot that they found deep inside the crater. You're playing a band of mercenaries, and you will play not only human characters. So as you find the better characters, they will mutate and become more and more mutated. Let's go. You won't be fighting dragons or anything like that. You will be fighting humans or mutated sort of animals and stuff like that. The way that we distribute loot and how the loot system is built up and how it's designed, it's that we have common, uncommon, rare, epic versions of all the weapons. Also, that weapons that drop are generated from with a random table of stuff, so you can find better or worse versions of the same weapon. Also, it's a random generated dungeons, so it gives the game almost infinite replayability. I think a couple of things that makes this game really different is that, for one, since it's an RPG, we don't have levels. That's really sort of different. Also, how you control the team. You have constant control of all of your characters in the team. You have all of their abilities are instantly accessible through our hotbar. And also, it's more tactical than a game that we say maybe like a classic combat RPG. We really wanted the players to decide how they wanted the roles to sort of work out. We don't wanted you to have like, okay, I have my tank. He's only going to be useful as a tank. We want you to be able to change how your tank sort of, or your healer, or your crowd control, or your DPS character works. We have a system that lets you change your abilities. We call it the component system, for ability component system, and you can fill any ability with a set number of components. It could be anything from damage, heal, a debuff, or a buff. And in this way, you can change sort of your crowd control. For instance, he has an AOE slow. But if I fill that with a heal or a damage, it will also become an AOE heal or an AOE damage. How the enemies work and the setup of the enemies that you meet and their abilities will change the way you will have to approach any problem. If you meet like a bunch of ranged enemies, your crowd controller won't do any good if he's only spec'd as a crowd controller. But if you spec him as a damage dealer, he might be like the best damage dealer you can have, because he can do like an AoE damage where they're standing and stuff like that. And we also have permadeath of characters. We wanted players to be afraid of using like their favorite character in a difficult situation. So every time a character goes down in battle, he gets like a scar, and if he gets 3 scars, he gets an injury. It could be a stat decrease in anything. It can also be like he will move slower or anything like that. And you can go to a hospital to remove injuries, but some injuries are permanent. And if you get more than, depending on your character, but if you have a normal character, he will be able to have 3 injuries. If you get 4th injury, he will die. So then you will have to, and since you can only change your team setup in the bar in the town, if you're way out in the wilderness, you will be in a bad situation. It will be hard for you to get back. Everything you do, or everything that you can have in the game, can be crafted in some way. All of our weapons, our gadgets, even the injuries go through the crafting system, and also the upgrades and the components for the ability system. Krater will be out on Steam. We're hoping in the end of April, but April-May, I would say. I was doing a presentation of the game at DreamHack, and a guy in the audience asked, what if I have a baseball bat and a shotgun? Can I make a baseball shotgun? And I was like, at that time I was like, no, probably not, but we've thought it over, and you're going to be able to make something with a baseball bat and a shotgun.